I buy a lot of my wood from the local sawmill, and this is one example. You get all sorts of odd shapes. Could be rounds, half rounds, all sorts, or blocks like this. And as you can see, this has been sat in the shed for probably a good maybe 6 months. It's getting quite dry, no signs of splitting whatsoever. And that's really the case of most of the wood I get. Every now and then you'll get a piece which has got, say, maybe a crack down the edge or something like that. Now this one is the extreme. This was been stood by my doorway for about the same sort of time, and a really thick crack had developed through the piece. And just basically all I did was just put a screwdriver in there, and it then just came apart in the two halves like this. Now it's not a waste. There's still a lot I can get out of this. Now, to give an example, if I was to buy, this one's tulip wood, but if I got one of these in oak on that size, even with it only 50mm high compared to the 64mm high on this, an oak blank, so a quarter of this piece, say half of this piece that I've got here, an oak blank would cost me over £3. Both of these from the local sawmill effectively cost me 50p each. So this one now, I'm going to cut this in half with the bandsaw. I'll have one large blank out of here, which I can turn something with, and I'll have another blank out of here with that slightly reduced size. And on the other half, this end I'm not so sure I'll get so much out of. You can see that it's got a curve on here, so the thickness on there is going to be very minimal. It might just be a case that I could just take down this end here to use for some form of a spindle, but this half still is a fairly usable blank again. So the plan is with this, first of all, I'm going to use this deeper one. It looks like I've got another split going through there as well, so I'm therefore going to lose this top bit. I recently placed an order with Axminster, and to get the free delivery I had to just add 1 or 2 extra items. So I ordered a couple of different ones of these, and these are pewter. Cost about £4, I think it is, £3-4 each. And they're ideal for things like the Potpourri. So I've now cut this on the bandsaw, so it's roughly a square. This piece I will use on a later project. And I've also just sliced off the top here to try and get a bit of a flat area, and I've just drilled a hole in there because for a change I'm going to use the screw chuck on here, which I very rarely use. really pleased the way that's come out. So off camera I did burn my logo in the bottom and hollowed all the inside out, and that has come up really nicely. So it's not too tight on there, because if the wood moves a little bit, then at least it's still going to fit. Good example of what is a piece of split wood that I'm sure a lot of people would either stick on the fire or throw out, because it's got that big split right through the middle. And I've just took one of the halves there and cut off that blank to produce that. Thanks a lot for watching.